Morning then, welcome to the first entry sort of video of the new channel. The new channel and page that you can see is known as LEDX. It's got a new venture that I'm undertaking, and it's mainly going to start with the product that you can see on the wall behind. So what it is a sort of geometric shaped LED lighting feature, either for the outdoor use predominantly, and then we are also looking at doing an indoor type as well. So the video today, what it's going to be is just a rough talk through of what it actually is, how it's made, and then there will be some features, and also the magical part will come later, as in when it gets dark and we'll get a full feel of how the LED effects look in a garden setting. So LEDX, yeah, it's fairly new. I'm the founder of LEDX. And where this is going to go is predominantly into the garden sector, or the garden lighting sector. Okay, so let's talk about the product itself then. So it's made from a locally sourced hardwood, local to where I live, and it's built by hand by myself. As you can see, it's got that geometric hexagonal or hexagon shape running throughout the design. It's then treated in a good quality waterproof treatment or varnish to give it that long life in an outdoor setting. The LED strips themselves are fully waterproof. The strip itself is waterproof, however the electronics and the parts that control the LEDs are not waterproof and have to be housed in a waterproof box. As you can see in the lower section of the picture here, that's the sort of box for the electrics. And I'll take some close-ups of this, and we'll get some closer pictures and video to describe that further. Also, while I'm on the subject, we'll get on to links. So Facebook, yeah, there's a Facebook shop where this can be purchased, and the prices will be on there shortly. It is just in the early stages. As I said, we'll also venture into that indoor lighting as well, and that'll come at a later date. The actual overall design can be made to size whatever the customer wishes, and also it can vary in the amount of hexagons that you require, all dependent on the area you want to fit it into within the garden setting. Okay then, a bit more of a close-up then. So as you can see, as I've already mentioned, made for a good quality hardwood. Yeah, it's all done by hand. Yeah, so the hexagons are made by creating 6 pieces of equally incised timber, all cut to a 30-degree angle, and then it's all glued together to create that hexagon shape. Various different size hexagons throughout the design to bring on the overall look of the lighting feature, climbing from the lower end all the way up to the larger hexagons over that seating area. It's fastened to the wall itself just using brass hanging plates. Fairly simple, yet with the good old screws and wall plugs. The electrics then, the way this works is there is an outdoor waterproof socket that's hidden behind the actual outdoor sofa. There's a plug that plugs into that then comes into the other waterproof enclosure, which houses all the LED controller, the socket for the actual LED lights, the microphone which then controls the LEDs when we have music playing, and all the elements that actually run the LED strip themselves are in that box. This is the only part that isn't waterproof within the LED package. The overall LED strip that is on the lighting feature is waterproof. It's fully rated IP65. You can also get IP67 if that was required. These particular LEDs are RGBIC, and they have a small chip that's embedded into the LED strip that gives you extra effect over the standard RGB LED, which is just either a solid colour, various different colours. This one, however, comes with a small remote control that can operate the different colours and also them effects which will come on and more apparent when we get into that nice magical part later on this evening. Okay, moving on to the electrics themselves, and as you can see, waterproof enclosure that houses the LED electrics. So inside there is the LED power pack, which then plugs into a socket, then goes through this wire across to the outdoor waterproof socket where the mains electric comes from. So the mains electrics that comes into the LED power packs then converted to 12 volt. You can either get it in 12 or 5 volt. These particular LEDs are 12 volt. Therefore rendering it safer within the garden setting. Looking at the box itself then, it's fastened to the wall. As you can see at the top here, there is 2 spurs. Firstly, the white spur has the LEDs housed in it that creates a waterproof connection from the outside to the inside of the box. There's a rubber seal on the inside that clamps against the LED lights, therefore creating that waterproof seal. Next one then, the black spur. This houses the RGBIC LED infrared sensor. And inside the little cap there is an infrared sensor that the remote works in comparison with, and therefore controls them effects and the functionality of the LEDs. Fairly simple setup, yeah, and it is extremely safe in the garden setting as it is only running that 12 volt. Fully waterproof throughout to obviously minimise the risk of obviously water ingression into the electrics. The LEDs then travel up into the timber frame and are situated on the inner edge of the timber frame.